Today, let's talk about the reality that many of us face as scientists, which is the pressure to be more productive. And here's the honest truth: being more productive actually isn't the right question. And we all know what the right answer is, right? Which is 42. If you're drowning in an endless tasks and deadlines and lists trying to push harder, this video will probably show you what you actually need to do to thrive in your scientific career and how to work smarter with balance, purpose, and well-being. So let's start with something very fundamental, which is recognition. It's not just about how much work you get done. What really counts is whether someone, your supervisor or your boss or your colleagues or your community, actually recognize your contribution as valuable. And think about it: if your work is invisible or undervalued, or no matter how many papers you write or experiments you finish, you might feel like you are sort of shouting into the void. And here's the first challenge for you: how do you decide what is actually important to focus on? Because not every task or goal carries the same weight, of course. So some are truly impactful and some are just busy work, and some might be expectations that just don't align with your values or your team's goals, actually. So let me tell you a story. Imagine a scientist named Sarah. Every morning she wakes up to a mountain of tasks on her desk: emails to answer, papers to write, experiments to analyze, grant proposals to draft, meetings to prep for, and seminars to attend. And her to-do lists seem like endless. Scrolling through, it feels like standing at the base of a very steep mountain, unsure whether to start or if she'll just ever really reach the summit. And every item screams to her like she's exhausted before it even begins. And I think, sounds that familiar to you? This overwhelming feeling is something many scientists know all too well. Lists of things to do, write and read and apply and attend can drown out the very passion that brought us to science in the first place. Here's where the story takes a turn. What if Sarah had a map, a way to find meaning in all this noise? And this map is called prioritization, of course. Sarah learns that the secret isn't about doing all the things, but about doing the right things. And she starts by asking herself, what matters most to me? What research makes my heart beat faster and my curiosity align and ignite? And what questions do I want to answer? Not just what looks good on paper or funding calls, but what really interests me. And this inner reflection is very powerful. It's what James Clear calls in Atomic Habits, building systems that align with your core values. And when your daily work supports what truly drives you, motivation follows sort of naturally. But Sarah soon realizes it's not just about her. Of course, science is a collaborative journey. So she also needs to understand what her team, her boss, and the institution prioritize. So what do they value? What goals do they have set? And what direction is her lab or the department moving toward? Thinking of this like balancing two equal important forces, your passion pulling you one way and your external expectations also pulling you into the same way. So there's this 7 habits of highly effective people, where Stephen Covey says, I think there's this idea of think win-win. It's not just about your goals nor the others' goals alone. It's about finding where they overlap, that spot where your research curiosity meets the needs of your team and the institution. So here's the tension in the story. If your goals don't align with your environment, it's like trying to paddle upstream against a very, very strong current. So no matter how hard Sarah rows, she feels stuck and frustrated and lost in a sea of conflicting priorities. And sometimes the current changes direction too fast. You have new leadership, you have shifting funds or evolving expectations. So these sudden storms can really toss your boat around, and this misalignment affects focus, of course, and motivation, and ultimately your well-being. So we have, that book Deep Work by Cal Newport. that argues that focus on high-value work requires a calm and very steady context. But how can you dive deep if you are pulled in every direction by chaotic priorities, right? So Sarah feels the weight of this every day, and if you do too, you're probably not alone. So what can you do? What can Sarah do to get her map back? She can take several practical steps. First off, she can clearly define her priorities, the work that fuels her passion and advances her expertise. Next off, she can initiate honest conversation with her supervisor and the team, checking in often to realign expectations and to clarify what success really looks like. Then she learns that alignment is sort of ongoing. So especially in this fast-moving, complex scientific environment, you need to do it again and again. And finally, Sarah maybe uses tools. You have these many different ways of tracking your tasks meaningfully. You have digital planners, reminders, and for sure, revisiting your goals weekly, it's something that is very, very useful. And the biggest difference is that Sarah stops trying to do everything. Instead, she chooses the things that matter most to her, science and her team, and commits to doing those really well. So her mountain shrinks and her steps feel surer, and she's no longer sort of overwhelmed, just focused and very motivated. This story could be your story. When managing overwhelming lists, finding your intersection of passion and alignment, and this is where the motivation really ignites on its own. So focus sharpens and the stress begins to fade. Now, of course, it's not just about what's important, it's also how much is realistic. Unrealistic demands might bring quick wins sometimes. Maybe you get a grant, you publish a paper, you finish a project on a very tight deadline. But that's a short-term bravery and not a long-term strategy. So what happens in the long run is burnout. And it's isn't just being tired or stressed, it's a state where your creativity and motivation and passion really get drained. So you start doubting your work, you disconnect actually from science, and you start questioning why you do what you do. And this is sort of, I think, a silent epidemic in science today. And sometimes we really have to take this seriously. Now, what's the key to success here? Of course, it's balance. So you balance, that means pacing yourself intentionally. No one else will do that actually for you. You need to protect your energy and creativity and well-being for the long haul. It's not a buzzword actually, or sort of luxury. It's the intelligent approach to sustain your scientific career. Without balance, short bursts of intense labor lead to exhaustion and lost momentum. With balance, you build resilience and, of course, sort of sustained passion, right? So balance means more than just managing time. It includes aligning your personal and organizational goals, really, setting realistic expectations, and protecting your mental and physical health. And along with balance, you also need strategies to work sort of smarter. So this means building quality collaborations that inspire and strengthen your work. Science is never a solo race, it's a team effort, and great collaborations spark new ideas and shared energy. It means embracing tools thoughtfully, of course, artificial intelligence writing assistants today, or project management apps, or data visualization software that can free up so much time for you to have this creative thinking and problem solving time. But tools alone also can't fix underlying problems. So you remain the guy, the thinker, the curious mind driving the research. So here are a few practical tips to help you protect your creativity and avoid burnout naturally while growing your output. First off, schedule non-negotiable breaks and rest periods. Treat those like an important experiment or a meeting, put them in the calendar. Next off, build a supportive community or join a supportive community of peers who understand your challenges and can offer, of course, encouragement ongoingly. Third off, set clear boundaries. So protect your work hours and personal life fiercely. Fourth one, use deep work techniques or sessions, so uninterrupted blocks dedicated to your most demanding tasks. This is very, very efficient. Next off, give yourself permission to produce good enough. Embrace imperfection that fuels progress more than sort of perfect procrastination. So being imperfect is really fine, and as a scientist, that's something that we really have a hard time to learn. So to sum up, the secret to lasting success in science isn't about being more productive. It's about being mindfully productive, recognized and valued for your real contributions, balanced in your work and life, and supported through smart collaborations and tools. So if this message resonates with you, share it or get back to me. I love to hear from you all. Your passion and clarity and care for yourself are something that's really, really moving forward science in general. Maybe you've also tried out already, or if you didn't, try now, a guided self-assessment to unlock your potential as a scientist in the description below, or explore some of our other free tools and resources, which you can also find in the description of this video. Let's make space for great science, and there's no science without happy and productive scientists. So by the next time, engage.